Welcome to Backfield Breakdown, the podcast where it took me just a minute to get my shit together. That's right, we're not holding back on this podcast. Shout out Pat McAfee. We're doing things a little different right now. Jared's taking a little bit of a hiatus due to just being busy and all that stuff. So I brought in Blake. How you doing, Blake?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. As you can see, Blake's a sports fan. He's got the sports stuff behind him. A little bit of Boston stuff, a little bit of Boston stuff. Uh, we are going to start off this episode and probably every other episode after this by saying, crack open a cold one. What are you drinking tonight, Blake?
Lone Star.
Lone Star, the Texas beer for the Texas guy.
You know, it's not the best, but you could drink a lot of them.
Let's see. Kind of can't. Oh, wait. There we go. Voodoo Ranger Juice Force.
That's a good one. That they're hazy.
Tropical IPA. Fancy. Uh, so we've taken, I took a couple weeks off here, not really meaning to, but it is Friday. It's Friday. It is week 4, and last night, oh boy, my boys, America's team coming back and winning. What did you think, man?
I mean, it was the game the Cowboys needed. It was at a pretty high cost, though. Potentially the rest of their season, honestly. But
Well, why is tell everybody why that is?
I mean, they lost Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence there, and their defense has already been struggling. Not that they're bad, they haven't clicked yet this season, and losing their number one defender, that's gonna hurt them, I think.
Yeah, and honestly, man, you kind of kiss Defensive Player of the Year goodbye, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did make that prediction, didn't I?
Well, I mean, the Giants didn't play so bad themselves.
No, they had a good first half.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Dimes wasn't exactly dropping dimes, but he wasn't exactly throwing it away just once.
Mm-hmm.
Just once.
I think he was 29 for 40.
Yep. He had 281.
281, but one interception.
One interception, yeah.
Malik Neighbors, though, is saving his career, but another unfortunate injury from last night.
Yep.
Left with a concussion. Did set a record. I think it's the rookie receiving record. 12 receptions, 115 yards.
Did he beat? I'm pretty sure Puka had it.
I'm not sure.
Damn. Good for Malik. Awesome. Well, I mean, Wandale Robinson had a good game too. That's something to be happy about, I guess. Oh boy.
Something.
It's injuries, man. It's injuries this year. It's shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this was the game CD needed.
Mm-hmm.
He needed that bounce back. He still hasn't topped 100 this year.
He had 98.
98.
I count as 100.
He needed that touchdown. That's all I have to say. Good job by Ferguson too.
Yeah, he's starting to come out as a very strong tight end.
I mean, shout out for Ferguson, man. If you're listening, which you're not, but if you are, keep catching balls because, man, I've got you on my fantasy team, and I need you because Mark Andrews isn't doing shit.
Yes, that is sad.
It is sad. You know what? There is one more thing that I'd like to say about the game. Passing yards. We are in a new age in the NFL, man. Not even 300 from either team.
Yeah, honestly, there hasn't been a lot of quarterbacks, I think, that have thrown for 300 this season.
Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold.
I think Andy Dalton is another one. And then game back, I think he threw for over 300.
And then, I think after week 1, it was Gardner who had the biggest passing number game.
Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew Mania is it's not going so well over in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's okay. I don't like the Raiders, so whatever.
I do really like Max Crosby, though. I think he hasn't shined as much as Watt this season, but he's always been a contender for Defensive Player of the Year.
I will say free Devontae. Yeah, free Devontae. The NFL misses you, Devontae. You're stuck in
Yeah.
Vegas where you don't get any coverage, except by the best corners in the league.
Yeah. Let him reunite with Rodgers.
Yeah.
Let the Jets just really cook with him.
I mean, man, with the way with the way Lazard's playing, you could just trade him straight up.
Yeah. You really could.
So Blake had a fantastic idea, wonderful idea, doing something that we're gonna call the top five. And now this week we're being kind of serious, but who knows? There might be some case of the fuck arounds going on next week, and we might bring you best introductions. Maybe we'll bring you best names. But this week I've got best wide receivers and Blake's got best coaches. Do you want me to start, man, or you want to start?
Let's do yours first.
Best wide receivers. Now I'm talking right now, and I'm talking skill. It does not matter who's throwing to them. And you know what? Number two. Doesn't matter who's throwing to him right now. But we're gonna start off with number 5, Rashee Rice. Young guy. He's cruising, he's got a good arm, throwing to him, of course, Kermit Mahomes. Enough said pretty much. Amra for number 4. He's had a very stealthy season. Covert, kind of under the radar, but I think that's better for him instead of being that kind of taking the NFL by storm like he did a season or two ago. Number 3, my boy CeeDee Lamb. Why is he not number 1? Why is he not number 2? Because these two guys are in front of him. Tyreek Hill at number 2. Cheetah, you can't beat it. Doesn't matter who's throwing to him. He's got it. And number 1, all you Vikings fans, just put your pearls down. Justin Jefferson's number 1. It's working out for him right now over in Minnesota.
Definitely.
So, that's my top 5 right now. I'd love to hear what everybody thinks. Comment, just whatever you want to do. Scream at me if you must.
I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's got the best work ethic out of all the wide receivers. His backstory is really cool. He's I saw it was a pregame show and they were interviewing him, and he recites a list. I think it was 17 receivers that were picked before him, and he recites those names before every game.
Every game?
Every game.
Damn.
He recites that list.
Damn.
His dad was like Mr. Olympian or some bodybuilder.
Oh, wow.
And so he's always had that like athletic side to him and competitive side to him. But one of his high school games, there was one wide receiver that just outdid everyone. And Amon-Ra's dad went to that kid's dad, asked him what he does every day. And he says, or like what they do for practices and stuff. And he says, every day my son goes in front of one of those ball throwers and catches 200 passes. And so his dad went and bought one and said, you're doing 202 every single day. So
damn.
Better than that guy. And to this day, he still does that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you got top 5 coaches, though.
I do, yeah.
Top 5. Is it right now or is it all time?
Right now, but it's not necessarily just skill based. It's people I think I would want to be coached by. Cool people, funny, good sense of humor.
We've got opinion, folks.
Also good coaches. Most of them are all pretty good. Number 5, Mike McDaniel. I think he's hilarious. The Dan Le Batard show talked about him maybe possibly doing a bit where every week he wears a slightly bigger pair of glasses. So like game 1 of the season, and then by like the end of the season, just really big.
Oh,
I think that would be something he would do. I think he would too. Yeah, I think he handled the whole Tua situation really well. I think most of the players in Miami like him as the coach, and that's always a huge sign. If the players like playing for you, you got to be a good coach.
I think he's the second best players coach in the NFL. You can't beat the guy over in Detroit for being a players coach. You really can't.
We'll get back to him. Number 4, I have Sean Payton, quarterback whisperer. Some may say. I don't know.
Keep my mouth shut. That's a big old disagreement for me.
I don't necessarily think quarterback whisperer didn't. Not for everyone. I think he is a good quarterback coach, but he's not a whisperer. Yeah. If you're not a good quarterback, you're not going to do well under him. I mean, Russell couldn't do it.
I mean, Russell's a good quarterback, but he's
no.
He can't function under that kind of coaching, though.
Mm-hmm. But I'm excited to see what he does with Bo Nix. I really like Bo Nix. I want him to succeed. His first 2 games weren't that great.
We love you, Bo.
Bo. Number 3, my boy, John Harbaugh. I think the whole Harbaugh family is a funny family. I don't know. You can tell they're all really competitive. And I don't know. I couldn't imagine sitting down at that like Thanksgiving dinner. I think that'd be hilarious.
Can imagine that one of the conversations is, didn't you cheat once?
You know that.
Maybe. But you know what? I didn't make the lights go out in the stadium.
Number 2, Dan Campbell. Survives off coffee and kneecaps.
Oh, yeah.
He's a player's player. Like, used to be a player, and you can tell. And I think he would be a really fun coach to have, not only because he knows exactly what every player's going through, but just he does seem to have a good sense of humor. And
for sure.
But it's just serious enough, competitive enough. I feel like he's really good at just keeping the fire lit under their ass.
See, I think that's what separates Mike McDaniel and him.
Yeah.
Yeah. McDaniel's, he's chill. He's like the dirty heads.
He's like the stoner scientist.
Exactly.
Like he's actually like a genius, but he just acts like like
vaping over on the sidelines.
Yeah, he just number 1 though. How can you not like him? The mustache man himself, Andy Reid. Talk about funny, talk about jolly.
That hurts me too.
I've started to dislike Travis Kelce more and more in the last like 2 or 3 seasons. I think what really did it for me was that little incident with him in, I think it was in the Super Bowl, where he got in Andy Reid's face and like kind of bumped into him and was like screaming at Andy Reid. And to me, that's like, I couldn't imagine. I mean, back in high school, if any of us talked to even the line coach, the offensive line coach like that, we probably would have been kicked off the team. But we would have been punished severely for even remotely trying to do something like that.
That probably didn't bother him at all. When you've coached Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens at the same time, you can handle it all.
How could you do that to someone as harmless and likable as Andy Reid? He's everybody's grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not, and not only that, he's a great coach. He's so funny about food and everything.
They got him a burger. They got him a burger.
I laughed so hard at that. In like a shoebox or something.
Yeah. It was in a little, I think they wrapped it.
It's a great gift.
Yeah.
That's what you get a man who has everything. You just get a burger in a shoebox.
I wouldn't mind sitting down and have a burger with Andy Reid.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'd have a few burgers with him.
I'd
go burger for burger with him.
Burger for Good luck. Good luck, man.
I can eat a lot. All right, you want to talk about some upcoming games?
Yeah, let's talk about some upcoming games. You know what? I would love to hear yours first.
One game I'm really excited about, but also nervous about, is Buffalo Ravens.
I can see that.
I mentioned the other day that I think the big reason with Mark Andrews playing more of an offensive lineman is because I think they have 3 rookies on their offensive line. So I think they really need him there, especially with being such a run-heavy offense. You need to have a strong O-line. That, and they have not a weak secondary, but they're giving up way more passing yards than they are running. They're one of the top in run defense, but one of the worst in reception defense. And that scares me going against Buffalo because they don't really run anyway. So
Man, the switch. Because like last year and the year before, it wasn't run heavy. It was Lamar run heavy.
mm-hmm.
It's your team. How do you feel about the change in culture?
I like it. I mean, they did have a better offensive line the last 2 years, so I wish we would have gotten Derrick Henry then.
Yeah.
But even with it, they're not a bad offensive line. They're just young, which is a good thing in a sense. But they're new. They're rookies.
Man, you got King Henry at the right time though.
Yeah, right.
Coming off an injury,
yeah.
cheap price, perfect.
I think he was so sick of being with a losing team.
Yeah.
He's just one of those players that deserves and demands greatness, and he was not getting that in Tennessee.
My opinion could be way off base, but it's always seemed like with Tennessee, man, it's been like good front office, bad coaching.
I think they just
Will Levis was a good pick. He might be really bad right now, but he was a good pick. Certainly better than the man in the Mile High who loves to have sex with mothers.
I would also honestly put Zach Wilson above Will Levis, I think.
Really?
I think Zach has so much potential, but you got to think the psychology of the biggest city in the USA, New York, just hating you. I mean, booed at halftime when you're walking in. That will get to anybody. I think you give him another chance in a few years or have him sit under a really good veteran, which I know Bo Nix is a rookie, but eventually I think if he sits, learns for a few more years, gets another chance, I think he can be an elite quarterback.
I'm just putting it out there. You know what? Send him to Dallas. We'll take him. Put him behind Dak for a couple years.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually,
whatever. I mean, Dak gets injured once a year anyways. I'd rather have a young guy coming in. Jerry. Trade for Zach.
Yeah.
Trade for Zach.
Give him another shot.
He would be a good backup, but he would just crumble in that. He would crumble in that front office and that coaching staff. McCarthy's not a good.
He's on the hot seat right now, so I think if they don't have a good season, and they're keeping Dak, they just paid him. Yeah. They're keeping CD. They're going to get rid of the coach if they have any postseason. I mean, he needs to go far in the postseason for him to keep his job, I think.
And even if there's a nuclear war, Jerry Jones will survive.
It's a hot take. It's super early, but I can see Belichick going right in. I think even if it's not with Dallas, I think Belichick's back in the NFL next season. I really was shocked that he did not get that Atlanta job.
I'm shocked too, but it is what it is. Excuse me, football gods. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Justin. Yeah, bring Bill to Dallas. Let's do that.
I think that's like Jerry Jones would love it, even if he kept losing. It's not like McCarthy was winning and he's going to make just so the fact that Belichick is back.
And who's more of a hard ass than Jerry Jones? It's Bill Belichick.
Oh, Bill.
It's tough to think if it would change the offense for the better or not. You know what? We're moving on. We're gonna move on from them Cowboys.
What game are you looking forward to?
Honestly, there's a couple. Do you mind if I speak on two? But short. We'll go short. So the first one is the Bengals and the Panthers. I am very, very intrigued. It's a revenge game for Andy Dalton. You saw, and I'm going to ride this train for the rest of the year, no matter if I'm wrong or not. You saw Hubbard take command of that backfield. He outsnapped the rest of the running backs. It seems to be his job to lose with Andy Dalton under center. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be a toss-up. I'll admit it, I don't really watch the Bengals. I actually don't really get any of the games where I live, so I have a feeling, it's just a feeling, but man, the Jamar not wanting to re-sign, I think there's some tension there. I think it's gonna cause the offense to play worse as the year goes on, and that revenge game, the NFL loves a revenge game. The writers are getting the script out.
I'm really excited to see what Andy Dalton does. Because
I
if
hope he
he
does
has
well.
it'd just be so funny and make me feel even worse for Bryce Young because it's like it was you, dude. Like that would be proof right there that it
Yep.
was him. But at least that he would know. But also the Bengals, it's just something's off. They're still a great team, but they just I
It's the
don't know.
hair.
A lot of people are saying that.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. The
Huh.
second one that I wanted to talk about briefly because they are hot. And I say it like that with that extended H for emphasis. The Vikings and the Packers. Now we all know it's been proven. The Packers fans across the land have seen it. Malik Willis can throw the ball. Oh boy.
Mhm.
But they haven't seen nothing yet. Mr. Sam Darnold, Mr. considered a bust for years, is walking in there and he's gonna shoot that ball over to Justin Jefferson a few times. I'll even put my money, which is nothing, but I'm gonna put my word on this.
Oh boy.
Justin Jefferson, 5 catches, 115, 2 touchdowns.
That's a lot of yards with just 5 receptions.
But he's gonna go all sorts of vintage Devontae.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's gonna go vintage Devontae in this one. But really, those are the two games that I see being the most interesting.
I'm excited about that game too. I mean, when it comes to football rivalries, that's probably about as big as you get. I mean, they do not like each other.
Now, high scoring either of these games, I'm gonna hope so, but it might be a Steelers type scoring output from one of the teams in each game.
I'm really excited too for Commanders and Cardinals.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jaden Daniels is one of the first rookie quarterbacks to really just start good.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, he's great. He's great, but he's not the best rookie in that game. He's not the best rookie in that game at all. No, no, no.
Oh,
Three words. Three. Marvin fucking Harrison Jr.
I really hope he stays healthy. I think he'll have a monster season if he does. Him and Kyler are clicking already. I'm just excited to watch those two rookies, I guess. Even though they're different positions,
That's
they
gonna be
seem to
fun.
be the stars of the season rookie wise. I think of Daniels as a very potential Lamar Jackson too. I think he's one of the best running quarterbacks that the NFL will see when he really gets into his career.
Here's a great question that has to do with Jaden Daniels, though, man. Do you think after this Sunday, if Jaden Daniels wins against the Card, even if he loses, if he throws no picks and he puts up at least one touchdown, is it safe to say at week 4 that he is the best rookie quarterback in the class thus far?
Yeah,
And maybe even the rest of the year.
yeah, I think so.
Because I'm saying that because there's a guy over in Chicago,
Yeah,
and I'm still on the bus train for Caleb Williams. Still on the bus train.
I think I am too. I don't. He's not. He hasn't done anything that's shockingly terrible. Like holy cow, I can't believe he would even do that. But he has definitely got not started how everyone talked that he would, especially in that good of a team with that many offensive stars around him. He has no excuse.
On the one hand, it's great that we have now seen that Caleb Williams can run against an NFL defense. That's cool.
Mhm.
But he shouldn't be running against an NFL defense when you have DeAndre Swift behind you.
Yeah, they're not using him at all.
No, they're not, man. And he was
And,
great for the Lions.
and he was great. He was okay with the Eagles. They at least used him.
I thought with him and Montgomery, that kind of made them one of the top 3 running back rooms in the league.
Mhm.
They're still great. There's no reason to panic over in Detroit. But I think there might be a reason to panic if you're DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I wouldn't say panic, but and especially the worse Caleb Williams does, I think the more reps you'll see him get because they're not going to let him throw nearly as much, and they'll try and switch to a run heavy offense,
Right.
and so it'd work out good for him. But I think eventually too. I think Chicago will figure it out by the end of the year. I don't know if they'll be a top contender, but somewhere in the 14, 15 range probably.
My opinion aside about the Bears, as long as it doesn't turn into a Mitchell Trubisky situation, I will be happy. Because every damn quarterback who plays for Chicago from here on out deserves better than Mitchell Trubisky got.
Mhm.
Now, he's not fantastic, but they really screwed him over considering how high of a pick he was. And then you get Justin Fields, and then we rejoice. The Bears fans rejoiced last year. The flashes, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of Caleb Williams, even if he's a bust. Come on,
Mhm.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? If you want to get rid of him, Dallas, we'll take him. Sit on the bench.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the system I think we need to go back to is taking a college star and making them sit a year or two behind a good quarterback. You don't always need to just send them in. I mean, every once in a while, you are going to get your CJ Stroud and your Jaden Daniels,
Yep.
and they are going to be able to just go right in. But it doesn't matter how good of a prospect they are. I feel like it's a system that should be practiced still.
It's weird how vastly different is. Uh, Folks, Blake and I are giant basketball fans. It never ceases to amaze me how different the draft of the NBA is for than the draft for the NFL. You get Wemby. Wemby's the highly touted prospect. He's the Caleb Williams, and he goes in, and it's fine. And it's a team game, just like football. And he's the leader, and he's got a good coach. But you go in
The
to
best
the
coach.
NFL, what?
The best coach.
He really well. There's a guy in Boston named Joe who's getting up there. He's closing in. And really, the best coach in the East is Eric Spoelstra. But anyways,
I attribute the Celtics' success to Brad Stevens. He's really the one who made it all happen.
I mean, of course, Brad Stevens pretty much fixed the Celtics where Danny Ainge could.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. The NFL draft, you get that the star player, whatever. If he isn't a quarterback, he succeeds. If he's a quarterback and he's going to the worst team in the NFL, the chances for failure are so much higher.
Mhm.
It's so weird the difference because the spotlight is arguably higher on the top pick of the NBA draft.
Mhm.
The spotlight on Wemby was huge, and there's only 13 players on a minimum on a basketball team, 52 on an NFL team, and yet you've got this guy, multiple guys, I'll say, you got these multiple guys who just fail every year.
A lot of it's pressure. I don't know. It's hard telling what it is. I think it's either going to happen for you. I think a lot of it's luck, honestly. I think
Andrew Luck.
it's I think it's a mixture of everything. You got to be smart, you got to have a good work ethic, and you got to get lucky. And you got to start hot. Because if you don't, that's how you end up like Zach Wilson.
Right.
Within your second year, you're getting booed going into the locker room. And I can't imagine that kind of pressure. Why would you even want to go out and win for people who treat you like that?
That's true. I can't actually picture Caleb Williams getting booed in Chicago. Legitimately, I can't picture it.
Give it a few more weeks.
Give it a few.
They will.
You better watch out. Mike Dick is going to come in there.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a good week altogether.
It is going to be a good week, man. Well, I don't know. Seahawks, Lions, that'll probably be a wash. Lions are probably going to stomp all over them. I will say, I am looking forward to, and yeah, everybody, I'm cheating. I got the games up right here. What about it? I'm looking forward to Eagles Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Saquon run all over him, all over another team again, and establish himself as my comeback player of the year. But it would be interesting to see what Bucky and the Buccaneers can do. It's not Baker's team anymore, it's Bucky's team.
Shake and bake, baby. It's perfect. I think that was the perfect landing spot for him. Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, Baker?
It's just Baker Mayfield. That's such a I don't know.
It's a
match made in heaven.
I think it's a picture perfect situation to come in right after Tom Brady left.
Mm-hmm.
You go from coaching a uptight avocado ice cream eating supermodel wife divorcing Tom Brady to beer bong drinking baseball game luxury box screaming Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly it sounds crazy, but I think that is a factor in the fact that they're doing so well. You get an establishment of culture with Tom Brady, people who know how to, God, I hate it. I hate it. Hate that I'm talking about him. You get an establishment of culture. I wash my mouth out after this. You get an establishment of culture and a winning attitude, and he probably brought a bunch of crap to that team. And then you get Baker, who probably learned from the QB coach because Brady probably taught the QB coach a couple things.
Yeah. I gotta say too, I've liked listening to Tom.
Oh, in the booth?
Yeah, it's so fun listening to what he has to say, breaking down every play.
He's only gotten better. His first game was rough.
I don't know. It's just cool to hear it from. It's kind of the same as Nick Saban on game day, college game day. It's so fun to just listen to hear what he has to say, and always nice to listen to the mind of a goat.
I think
Matt,
it would be really crazy to see a game called by Tom Brady and Tony Romo.
It'd be fun. Tony Romo's great too.
Dude, he's like a genius in that booth.
Better
he's
at
like, oh yeah,
commentating
see, they're lined up in this, and then they're gonna just watch. They're gonna do this, this, and this. And it's like, okay, all right, Miss Cleo, tell me what's happening next. Man, I think the talking point of this week is almost a repeat of what's been going on, but nobody's really talking about it anymore because he made the decision. I'm not going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to come back. He's trying to come back soon, Tua. And the Dolphins, well, they certainly need it after last week.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly need it. Skylar Thompson did not do well, and neither did Achane. But what are they going to do moving forward, man? Even with Tua back, the chances of another concussion are so high.
I think they really need to stress you cannot go head first into a defender. You cannot do that. You have to slide better than that.
You also can't go head first into that player. Don't want him dying again on the field.
There is some irony there. It's weird.
Yep.
I don't know. I think McDaniels handled it great. He's obviously Tua, is a competitor. If you're playing any sport at an elite level like that, you obviously have this drive to win. You're competitive. It's hard to just walk away from that being so young. I think the NFL have made it clear that they don't really want him to play. I don't think the Dolphins have really released a statement saying we're not going to allow him to play. I don't even know if they legally can do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how his contract works in the sense of if they make him retire, does he still get all the money? Whereas if he decides he doesn't want to play anymore, does he still get the money? I don't know the laws around that.
I think you're on to something. I don't think the Dolphins want him to play anymore.
Yeah. They don't want to be the first franchise that, I guess they wouldn't be the first, but first in a long time to permanently have a player be permanently crippled because they let him keep playing. I don't know how the contracts work. I don't even know if they can be like, you're done.
If people don't know what Blake is mentioning, and I'm not even sure, but I'm just going to decide for him. We're talking about you, Pittsburgh. We're talking about you, Antonio Brown. You should have gotten him the hell out of there the moment he collided with that Bengals defender, who,
Mhm.
by the way, has been in trouble so many times that I don't even know if he's allowed to play anymore right now.
I don't remember the whole situation there, but it does actually just the concussion topic in general, I guess. Malik Neighbors out now with a concussion. It's terrifying to see one such a star already have
It's
to leave.
tough.
Nobody wants to see that because they want to watch him
No.
play. I think to blame there is they were overusing him. I mean, 12 receptions is a lot of receptions.
Sure.
They tried to throw, I think he had 14 targets total or 15.
They were using Wandale just as much. 11 receptions.
Mhm, mhm.
You're absolutely right. They
That's a
did
lot.
overuse him. As much as I love talking about Marvin fucking Harrison. Yes, this is a thing I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year. Get ready. As much as I like talking about him and love what he's doing and want him to be the offensive rookie of the year, I don't want him to have a cakewalk.
Mm,
I want Malik Neighbors out there. I want Malik Neighbors with his rookie record grabbing self to put some
yeah.
pressure on you. You know, you're NFL royalty, friend.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love watching these players, so I don't want to see them get injured. That's what makes it
No.
so fun is watching these stars rise, the stars that are already there. I want to see Justin Jefferson. I want to see Amon Ross St. Brown. I want to see CD catch
Yeah.
that ball and then run 80 yards with it. Those are always the funnest things to watch. And so when anytime a player gets injured, it's like not only do you hate to see anyone hurt, you're like, damn, now I feel like I'm getting cheated. I think red
Yeah.
zone should be 5 cents cheaper every fucking injury there is.
I mean, you're on. No, that's not going to happen, but you've got a point, man. With the way the last few years have gone, yeah, you don't feel like you're getting. I mean, if I bought League Pass, I wouldn't really feel like I'm getting as much with all the
You're
stars
getting
injured.
cheated. You're getting cheated, dude. I want my money back.
Continuing on with the injury talk, though, what do you, and this still surrounds the Dolphins, everybody. How would you feel about Tua playing if he used the that extra helmet thing that people have been using?
Guardian helmets.
Yeah,
I don't. That's totally up to him. I think it helps, but I was always told concussions don't come from the blunt trauma of it. I feel like most concussions and the worst ones are from the snapping of your like it's your brain. If your head snaps back really fast, more damage is done when your brain collides with the front of your
oh,
skull. And I don't see how those helmets stop. And if you look at his last concussion, head first in the chest, his head snaps back. And that's not only dangerous for the neck, but that's where the brain damage comes from. And that's
because
why
I
boxing.
because I didn't see that one either. Now, granted, people, I could go look at highlights of concussions, but I have learned since the Gordon Hayward leg injury that you do not go look at injury footage. It is very, very upsetting. If you want something upsetting to go look at, go type in Paul George leg injury. You want to
I
see
don't know.
someone's bone coming out? Yeah.
I think that the Louisville kid.
Oh,
I think
Kevin Ware.
that was like 5 or 6 years ago now. Maybe wait, no, it was probably way more than that. I don't know. That was probably the worst.
That I watched it live, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, oh man. Uh, to be completely honest, even though that was like stomach turning, Sean Livingston is still the worst I've ever seen.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Sean Livingston almost had his leg amputated. Yeah, his knee basically didn't exist for a little
Mhm.
bit there.
Yikes. Ugh.
Fun fact about Sean Livingston, the guy never ever missed a mid-range jumper in his entire career for the NBA.
This is a stat of the day right there.
That's the stat of the day. Michael Jordan who? And I took offense to that.
I took that personally.
Here's another question. Get back on track. Having played football before,
Mhm.
even though you haven't played since high school, do you really think the Guardian helmets are helping?
I mean, they can't not help,
Yeah,
or I guess they can't make anything worse.
right.
And if they have the numbers and the stats to prove it, then by all means wear it. I don't think you will see that much of a significant drop in hard concussions like that.
Right. That's that is a I chuckle, but that just sucks.
Mhm.
But you know what? Thank you, NFL, for at least trying to do something.
Yeah.
As funny as it was to watch the man take his fucking jersey off and run around the field, we don't need another Antonio Brown in the NFL.
I mean, when it comes to Tua's, it's hard to kind of hard to watch in a sense. I mean, his hands
The hands.
twice now you could see him just,
Yeah.
and that's got to be scary, especially now with like Brett Favre coming out with the Parkinson's. They're kind of implying that a lot of that is
I
concussion
saw
based.
that. I don't have any respect for that man defrauding charity like that, but you know what? He doesn't deserve Parkinson's. Nobody deserves Parkinson's. It
They've made it kind of clear that this is something he would have gotten even if he was a good person.
yeah. I think that I'm hoping because NFL players do this, wrestlers do this, people who play contact sports do this. Maybe, just maybe, Brett Favre will be like, "Hey, when I pass away, here's my brain.
Mhm.
Study it, because we need more of that." Oh shit! Now we're going in the medical discussion,
Oh man.
folks. This podcast, it takes a turn here, it goes over here. We go down that road, or we go down that road.
We are not trying to spread misinformation.
No, we're not. No.
Don't know anything.
No, we're not trying to spread any misinformation. But back to all right, very last thing on the Dolphins. What do you think? It's your last thoughts.
I think Tua will be back. I don't know if it'll be for long. I don't know if it'll be very good, but I think he will be back.
My last thoughts are bring him back. Bring him back when he's ready. Keep him away longer than he wants. Trade. You've got one of your backup QBs injured as well, I believe. You need to package up something, and you need to package up a pick or something and trade for a QB, or you need to go out on the road. You phone in Mr. Tannehill. He's a good quarterback.
Let's bring back Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, let's bring back Fitzmagic.
You know he would in a heartbeat.
Oh, he would. He so would.
You know, a lot of people are still saying Tom. There was always talks of him going to Miami. I think he's always wanted to play for Miami. I
So
would love to see that so much.
Does Tom have stake in the Raiders yet?
I don't think he does yet.
So
I know that if he does have stake in the Raiders, that
he's not allowed to play. No,
and he probably can't. I don't know how his contract with Fox is. I feel like he could, if he told them, "Hey, I'm leaving to go play for Miami." I don't know if it could be like, "Oh, you can't." And
he's super duper rich. He could afford any breach in contract type of thing.
Yeah.
Tom, you could just be like Showtime, and you just say, "Hey guys, listen, I got a baseball game this day. All right, I'm not gonna be at practice, so just do that. Just do that. Come on, you can do every other Sunday or something, or you can do one Sunday when you have the bye. Just do every Thursday or whatever."
Mm-hmm. That would be funny.
Yeah,
he just skips Thursday night football or practice and does Thursday night football only.
I mean, would the man really have to practice, honestly?
Not with that team that's already built around
probably not
everything but the quarterback now. I mean, him and Tyreek Hill. Wow.
Yeah.
That would be. They got a pretty decent defense. Nothing super crazy, but mid-tier. I mean, him, Tyreek Hill, and Waddle. They've got two good running backs, Achane, Mostert. They really are ready to go if they have a star quarterback. I think that's definitely a far playoff team right there.
All right, folks, we're gonna end off like usual. Everybody ends off the same way, don't they? But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do it quick. We're gonna be a little premature about it. Just quick fire predictions. We already got Giants and Cowboys out of the way because they played on Thursday. Bengals, Panthers, Blake, who do you think will win?
Bengals.
And I've got the Panthers. Chubba. Saints, Falcons, who do you have?
Ooh. I think I'm gonna go with Falcons on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kirko too. Definitely. Jags and Texans.
Texans.
Definitely. Big game by Nico. Broncos and Jets.
Good game.
Who's winning?
Jets.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
Oof.
After the Broncos performance, I know everybody quick predictions, but after their win last week, maybe to keep it rolling.
I don't know. I think the Jets are only going to get better as the season goes.
But Blake, Sean Payton, he's in your top 5 coaches.
Oh,
You didn't have Robert Saleh in there.
Imagine Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver instead of New York.
Frankly, that's a Super Bowl winning team.
Kind of.
Even with who they have now, he would make Cortland Sutton a superstar.
I think so. I like Cortland Sutton a lot too.
Unless he gets injured again. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? We on Backfield Breakdown, we do not curse players. Cortland Sutton, please do not get injured. Vikings and Packers. I've got the Vikings.
Ooh, that's another good one. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of close games this week.
Definitely.
The Vikings are looking so good. The Packers aren't terrible. I'm gonna go Vikings though. I think they're gonna do it. Go far.
Oh, this one pains me to say because Steelers Colts. I'm picking Steel City.
We went from a list of good games to a game I could care less about. I don't think it's going to be anything exciting. I think it's going to be really low scoring.
Oh, of course. It's a Steelers game in 2024. Of course it's going to be low scoring, but I think they win.
I have Steelers winning too.
Yeah, they'll go to 4-0, which is a crazy thought. Let's see. Rams and Bears.
I think this will be a game where Caleb Williams shines. I think Bears win.
I also have the Bears winning, and you know what? Maybe by a lot, because that Rams defense is not good this year.
Their secondary is god awful. I think they're letting the most receiving yards out of any team.
Eagles and Buccaneers. We heard it earlier. I'm all about the Eagles.
I think Eagles will pull it off again. I think they are still a good team. I think they need to figure a few things out.
I don't think we have to say who's going to win this one, but we're gonna for the people. Patriots and 49ers at San Fran. I've got Brock Purdy.
I think the Patriots are actually doing better, and a lot of San Fran is injured.
But too bad.
It is. It really is. But I think Kittle is coming back this week. I think they'll find a way to get it done.
Commanders and Cardinals. I've got the Cardinals, but a close game.
I think this is going to be a good game, close, high scoring. I think Commanders are going to take it, though.
Nope. Cards keep rolling. Chiefs and Chargers. I have got Justin Herbert balling out, beating the Chiefs.
I think Herbert's
at home.
Isn't Herbert injured?
I certainly hope not. No. Questionable. Questionable, but you know what? Maybe you hold him out. It's an ankle injury.
Mm-hmm. Man, that really sucks too. I love Justin Herbert. I always hope he succeeds.
One of the best rookie seasons in recent memory for me for the quarterback position. Oh, geez. That's probably a Chiefs win. Fuck.
Sadly, I think it won't be a dominating game. I think we might actually see something from Kelsey this week. I got the Chiefs, even though something's off in Kansas City.
Yeah.
They keep finding ways to pull it off.
And this, I'm not going to cut everybody. I was considering this. I was going to do a Kermit the Frog impression, but it won't be good, so I'm not going to do it. We're moving on. Browns and Raiders. I've got the Raiders. I am a Deshaun Watson hater. I just can't stand his game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was very good in the Texans.
I think Browns will take it. I think their defense is just too good for Las Vegas.
Their defense is really good. Our night game on Sunday, we talked about earlier, Bills Ravens. I have the Bills, unfortunately. I don't want the Bills to win, but I've got them.
I think that's going to be the game of the week. I think the Ravens are going to take it.
I hope you're right. They need it. And moving on to the Monday games, 7:30 p.m. on Monday, Titans Dolphins. Not one I'm going to watch, to be completely honest.
Not going to be an exciting game, I don't think.
It could be. It's a toss-up. It's really a toss-up. I want to see Mr. Mayo do well. All right. I want to see Will Levis do well. I love the Dolphins, but I want to see him succeed.
He's just made so many mistakes where it's
costly errors.
You throw someone like me in there, and I'm not even doing that, dude.
You think that
you could throw random fans in there that would make a better play.
I wonder if Ryan Tannehill's kicking himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I'd be starting right now, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you would. You sure would. And then finally, our late game on Monday: Seahawks Lions. Jared Goff in the dome. Amara St. Brown in the dome.
Mm-hmm.
David Montgomery. I think they'll take it. If Geno plays well, it could be really close.
Mm-hmm. Geno actually did really well fantasy-wise for me last season.
Yeah, same.
I put the Ravens at a little... They're the best of the worst. You know?
Who?
They're probably right around Seattle.
Seattle's the best of the worst. You said the Ravens there for a minute.
Did I? Oh, no.
Yeah. I know you got the Ravens on your mind because they're 1-2.
I'm worried. I'm scared.
Believe me, the Cowboys are on my mind every night I go to bed. I'm thinking, what's Jerry going to do next?
Could be 4-0 Ravens, but...
I had them at 4-0. No, 3-1. After week 4, I had them at 3-1. And they're not there, which is unfortunate.
Their 2 losses. One of them was by a pinky toe, and one of them was by a field goal.
You know what they did do? They let Derrick Henry just run roughshod all over my boys. So there's your one win. I hope you're happy. They won by 3, vintage 25 carries and 151 damn yards for Derrick Henry. And since I do have it pulled up, we can add Dak to the I've thrown 300 yards this year.
Okay.
Yep, 379 for him in that game. Oh God. Oh, I'm glad I didn't watch that one. Man, who throws 51? Never mind. I know who throws 51 times. It's a team that has Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott as their running backs. Okay, I'm done.
I think it's funny that they just have CD running now. He had two rushing attempts last game.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, really, why not at this point? Everybody, as a Cowboys fan, there's kind of a scale here. Week 1, you feel good. No matter if you win or lose, you feel really good. This is your year. This is our year. Week 2, you still feel good. They probably won once at least. Maybe twice. You still feel good. Week 3, maybe, just maybe, they win again, but they just win, by a little bit. Now, this isn't how it's going right now, but this is how it goes for us inside. Week 4, you really start to feel it. Week 5, Dak gets injured. Week 6, Cooper Rush plays and he does really well, and you think, this is it. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Week 7, it's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Go move on to your second team. For me, it's every Dallas fan's kryptonite. I go move on to the Eagles. Basically, we're almost there. Looks like Dak will be injured next week or the week after.
Sounds about right.
It sounds about right.
Or CD.
What?
It'll be one of the two of them. CD or Dak will be injured by week 7.
I'm putting this out there. I don't want to speak it, but since apparently we curse people on this podcast, it better be Dak.
Yeah.
CD.
That's who I wanted to.
CD he's got too bright of a future ahead of him to get injured, like to get a bad injury.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to finish off, man, before we sign off for the good people of any particular platform you happen to be on?
It's gonna be a good week, and I love football.
I agree. It is going to be a good week. And my final words are, everybody, you can only see me looking around if you're on YouTube. Let's tailgate. Week 4 coming up, Sunday night games. What's up? And don't worry, next Tuesday, we're going to be recording. We're going to be getting back to the schedule. You can catch the next podcast out Thursday before the game. And if it isn't, well, guess what? I'm right here. And I'm the editor. So you come get me.
Give them your address.
That's, you know what? It's all public domain pretty much. You could dox me. You could go to my Atonal Sides Media on Facebook. Go on there. My address is on there. You could just bitch at me all you want if I'm wrong. Perfect. We don't give Blake's social media out. You stay away.
Yeah.
And with that, this has been Backfield Breakdown. I am Justin. That is. I
am Blake.
And that is Blake. We had I'm speaking for you again. We had a fantastic time tonight. I hope you guys all had a fantastic time too. Just my pluggables real quick, because you gotta come show some love. I'm lonely. If you're listening to this on YouTube, everything that I do down below in the link. No, wait, sorry. In the description. The description, everything's down below. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, hopefully iHeartRadio soon. I don't know.
Whatever.
It might be in the description. I don't know. I haven't really been posting descriptions on Spotify. But anyways, I hope you all have a good night. Drink water, tip your waitresses, and in fact, tonight, drink some beer.
Definitely.